James from MPICT at our 2011 ICT Educator Conference in San Francisco in the morning sessions, which are hosted by Microsoft. And thank you, Kenny Spade, for Microsoft for offering us that space. So your title is Evangelist, right?
Yeah, specifically Academic Developer Evangelist. So that's kind of different than some of the other evangelists. We actually have a large evangelism team at Microsoft. And in my role, I work specifically with community colleges and universities.
I love the title.
I love the title also. It starts a lot of conversations.
So I doubt seriously anybody doesn't know who Microsoft is, but maybe you could talk a little bit about new and cool at Microsoft.
All right. Yeah, so right now the big new thing that I'm working on is around the Windows Phone. Mm-hmm. So I actually gave a session yesterday on using the Windows Phone as a teaching tool. Where the two languages that you can work with on the Windows Phone are Silverlight and XNA. Mm-hmm. So how you could use those to teach application development, how you could use those to teach game development. So the big thing that we have on there is that it's building on some stuff that we had for the last few years. Silverlight originally came from a web development side on rich internet applications, and XNA came from game development on the Xbox 360. So we were able to take our existing languages and apply those to the Windows Phone. So all of the resources that we had before are still applicable.
So what can community college teachers do with this? How can they get engaged with this?
So actually, I'm working with some of the folks up in Redmond who are developing some curriculum around this. And we have a number of modules already done on a curriculum sheet that reference either online videos or have textbooks. We actually have a couple of e-textbooks that are freely available to anyone. So you can use those as a basis of a course. And we're working on bringing Windows Phone to our mobile loaner program, so we can actually get actual hardware into the hands of faculty so they can use it to teach, students so they can use it to develop applications, put those applications up onto the marketplace. And we have a full emulator system, so if you don't have any of the hardware, you can still do all of the development for the Windows Phone.
And so do you think the opportunity to develop applications in this environment is right?
I do. I actually have about 5 applications that I have developed that I have not yet put on the marketplace. But what I'm doing is I'm actually using them as teaching tools. I've been hosting a blog series up on my blog where you can go through and walk through the development of one of the games. And every week I'll put a new component of the game up there. So it's really useful as both a learning tool and eventually actually going to put those up on the marketplace as well.
Yeah, so programming applications for the Windows mobile space is a good opportunity for students and for faculty.
Absolutely. We actually have a program specifically for students through our DreamSpark program, which gives them the ability to waive the $99 registration fee onto the marketplace. So students can actually get up there and start selling their applications for free. The tools are available for free. You can get onto the marketplace without that fee and begin selling your applications. And so if you were to do a class around Windows Phone, you would then be able to take the end result of that class, put it up on the marketplace, and maybe make some money off of it.
So mobile is hot, and that's a good opportunity. But I guess also Windows 7 is hot. That's being adopted very rapidly and widely.
Yeah, so the number that I read the other day was that we have now reached a milestone at, I believe, 20% of installation base. So 20% of computers have Windows 7 now, which actually is something that Windows Vista never reached. So I'm still seeing a lot of XP machines out there, but more and more those are being replaced by Windows 7 as the applications that were needed to be supported are available on Windows 7 once kind of the momentum caught up with the new operating system.
So we're going to need a workforce that knows how to support that.
Absolutely. I was actually working with Sam Bone over from City College of San Francisco, and he has a great class on Windows 7, and I visited his class, did a guest lecture there, and it was actually originally meant to be a 1-hour presentation, but the students were so interested that basically they said, you know what, keep going until there's no more questions. Mm-hmm. And 3 hours later, we finally finished up our presentation, and the students still wanted to follow up with me and find out more about it.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's a new Office suite as well.
Yeah, so we have Office 2010 on the PC, and just recently Office 2011 on the Mac. Mm-hmm. And so there's also some opportunity there through certification programs, through things like the IT Academy, where you can get your students certified on these applications and prove that they know how to use them so they can enter the workforce more easily.
Well, my kids are asking me about the new Xbox interface.
Yeah, the Kinect.
It's way cool.
Yeah, so my daughter right now, so she's 6 years old. She loves Kinectimals. I've actually finished the game myself. She's about halfway through it. So, I also enjoy doing that. I have probably 6 different games on the Kinect system, and I have been playing all of them extensively. It's a lot of fun.
So for people who aren't familiar with this new interface, could you describe it?
Sure. So the Kinect is a motion-based system where I guess they market it as you are the controller. There's no controller involved. It is a camera, a laser scanner, and an infrared camera that allows you to get a 3D image of whoever's in front of the camera. Mm-hmm. And then that's how you interact with the games. So for example, on Kinectimals, you can reach out, you can pet your, the cat that you get inside of there, and the cat interacts to that, so you kind of get a virtual representation of yourself in the game. They have integration in some of the games with your avatar. So you build an avatar that looks, at least a reasonable facsimile of how you look or how you want to look. And then however you interact, that's how they interact. And it's actually a lot of fun in between the games just to do your celebration, where you do a little dance just to see the avatar do a dance as well. And they follow pretty well along with what you're doing because of the way that the Kinect works.
That is a super cool interface.
Mm-hmm.
But then I guess there's also the server and cloud space.
Right. Yeah, we've been doing a lot with Windows Azure. There were a lot of recent announcements made at the recent PDC around being able to host virtual machines up in the cloud, around some of the programs that we have where anyone can get access to Windows Azure for 30 days for free. We were looking at ways that we can get access to students more easily, so we're evaluating how we can do that. I actually taught a course, just a one-day session over at San Jose State University around Windows Azure, and had everyone in the class submit an application up on there, kind of a hello world, and didn't have any of them come back and say, hey, this was too difficult. It was all, it was smooth. It was easy to push stuff up on there, mm-hmm. and they had their applications running in the cloud very quickly.
Wow. Well, that's a major trend, and there's a lot of implementation going on mm-hmm. in that space. And I guess one of the key messages with Microsoft is that your products and services are very widely implemented, adopted mm-hmm. in the marketplace. Users depend on them, and we need a workforce that understands these technologies, who
right.
can install and maintain and support them. And Microsoft helps colleges mm-hmm. Develop that workforce, and that's through the Microsoft IT Academy.
Right, so the IT Academy is one of our programs. What that includes is a full set of the Microsoft official courseware that you can make available to deliver online to potential students, that then prepares them for certification exams. It also sets you up as a certification center so that you can give those exams and have a workforce-ready set of students come out of there. It also gives you access to something called the MSDN Academic Alliance, which gives free software to students and faculty. Just about all of the software that Microsoft produces, there's something like 300 titles up there. So it gives you the tools that you need to build on. So you could set up, Windows Server with some applications built on top of that, and get an actual environment built that you can test on.
So that's a huge benefit. It's not only the software that you need to support your program, but there's also software that students can use.
Right, and also software that you can install in your labs. Mm-hmm. So if you wanted to get an environment set up for your students for a classroom, you can do that through the MSDN Academic Alliance.
So if somebody wants to know more, how do they do that? How do they find out more information about this?
So one of the best resources is at microsoft.com/highered. So that's all of our higher education information, and we have links to additional resources from there. They can also contact me, kenny.spade@microsoft.com, and I'd be glad to point you at any resources you're interested in, get you in touch with your local evangelist so that you can ask them questions. And if you're local, I can actually come to your school as well.
Anything else on the radar we should be aware of?
So one of the major initiatives that I'm working on right now is actually a student competition called the Imagine Cup. And we've been focusing on that a lot this year because it is a international competition, but this is the first year that the finals is being hosted in the United States. So we're hosting the worldwide finals over in New York City, and the national finals up at our main campus in Redmond. And so students can get involved by trying to solve the world's toughest problems, things like poverty, world health, HIV and AIDS, maternal health, the environment. And they can solve those by using software. They can solve that by promoting awareness by developing a game. They can do videos through our media challenge. And then if they compete, they can go to the national competition, and then the winners can go to the worldwide competition over in New York. So we get you a trip over there, and we're actually working on a set of curriculum right now where we can actually provide an event at your school. We're looking at a format of around 2 half-days, one of them around soft skills, so developing a application plan or a game plan, doing some presentation skills, how to market yourself, how to turn your idea into a startup, and then a technical series where we actually teach you the skills that you need to develop that content.
Wow. And how would somebody find out more about this contest opportunity?
Again, you can contact me, kenny.spade@microsoft.com. We're starting in Southern California, following up in Northern California, and we're looking at expanding throughout the United States through some of our local evangelism teams.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you for hosting our morning event, and we really appreciate the relationship with Microsoft.
No problem.